Hey, how you doing? Duff down here. Just wanted to give you a quick update on the 18L. I was in contact with Jason from eWheels, and they're not going to mess around at all. I'm actually going to send this wheel out to their service center in Arizona. They're going to replace the batteries and make sure that everything's 100% before it gets sent back to me. So yeah, that's what's going on. This video is going to appear kind of disjointed. It's being shot over the period of 2 days, and it's covering various topics. So I apologize. Just bear with me. Again, I just wanted to quickly touch on my 18L. Like I mentioned in one of the other clips, the 18L is now on its way to the Arizona facility for eWheels. They're going to see what's going on with the battery issue that I've been having, and I have complete confidence that they're going to get it fixed. And I just wanted to address in the comments, I see a lot of people, and maybe it's partially my fault, I don't know, that they may think that I think the 18L is a bad wheel or something, because of this battery issue, and that really isn't the case at all. The battery issue is annoying, it's inconvenient, it means I'm going to be without my wheel for 2 to 3 weeks, 4 weeks, who knows how long, but the rest of my experience with the 18L has been really good. If you go back and go through my videos, you'll see me repeatedly saying how much I like the wheel outside of having a battery problem. But otherwise, my experience has been all good. So I am in no way down on KingSong. Do I think they make a bad product? Jason mentioned to me, out of his 50 wheels that he has shipped out on his first KingSong order, mine is the only one that reported a battery issue like this. Unlucky me. And it's probably unlucky for KingSong, since they do have a YouTube presence and stuff. Maybe it's getting out there disproportionately more than it should be, possibly. But again, I'm just, obviously anybody in my position would be unhappy that the brand new wheel has a battery problem, but I'm level-headed enough to realize that I don't think that means that the wheel itself is bad. I like it, so yeah. All right, so let's go on to this other stuff. I've been meaning to make this video for Grind 671. He was asking about a seat for his 18L, and I said that it might be possible to make the monster seat, the version 1 monster seat, fit. And if you just sit it on there loose, it will kind of sit as is. As you'll see, it has a big channel in it. And if you sat it on here and you use some sort of a bungee or something just to hold it in place, it might be good as is. If you want it to fit better, you could cut some of this foam out so the angle of the 18L handle would fit through here. Obviously I'm not going to do that to my monster seat, but that would be a possibility. So size-wise, I think that this would actually fit an 18L pretty well with some slight modifications. So yeah, something to keep in mind. Alright, I'm now in the hobby room, and I apologize if you have some background noise, because I do have my Anycubic i3 Mega printing in the background, printing another EUC stand. But today I got my one-wheel pads, and I'm very glad that I took the step to order these with the assumption that I would not get the pad that I sent into one wheel for service back anytime quickly, because my pads arrived today. They were actually supposed to arrive tomorrow, or yesterday. Thanks FedEx for being a day late. But they did arrive today, and I just got an email from Future Motion today about my pads. They only started to look at it today, so who knows when I'll actually get them back. It's sort of a frustrating interaction where, of course, it was John, up to this point the only Future Motion tech support guy that I've dealt with. John saying that their techs look at my pads and they couldn't emulate the error 15, and I clarified to him that I never said that the board had an error 15. An error 15, I looked it up online, an error 15 means that literally the light on your one wheel, you can't see it, but your light is flashing 15 times, and it seems like that means that it's like a hard foot pad sensor error. I never said that I had an error 15. I said that here's two videos that show 3 times the board running away from me with me being off of it, and the motor still engaging for a significant period of time. Multiple times I've turned the board on and I get I need my personal space error, which basically means that the board is sensing pressure on the pads when you turn it on. And whenever I've gotten that error, I haven't had my hand on the board at all. I just hit the button and that error would pop up randomly. So that was the problem. So I responded back to John in a little bit of an annoyed tone that, hey, look at my very first ticket. This tells you exactly what the deal is, and hopefully they act accordingly. I mean, I just want them to send me a new pad. I mean, obviously there's something wrong with it. Now, if I put these brand new pads on, this brand new pad on, and I still have a problem, then we got to dig deeper, I guess. But anyways, as of now, I'm glad that I spent $150 to get a spare set of pads. Alright, so since I didn't really cover me removing the old pad, I guess I will cover installing a new one. Even though it's not rocket science, they do include in this box the manual that gives you a step-by-step how to do it. I have a PDF version of this as well that was sent to me. If you're wondering what a sensor pad looks like, it's pretty simple. You got the pad itself with the electronics right here. That's it, and the connector. So basically, let me get on the other side here. This is a keyed connector, so it can only go on one way. There's a little slot at the top of it, so that lines up with the top of the connector on the one wheel. So we're going to line that up, push that in, and then there's a barrel connector that you screw into place. Now I just realized instead of using the that pliers, when you buy this kit, they include a special wrench that you can use to tighten this up, which actually works much better. All right, with this locking connector here, it's not like you would think with a conventional nut. You don't just keep turning and turning and it's going to get tighter and tighter. You just turn it until you feel a click, and once it clicks, it locks that connector in place. So I did not realize that. So got that in place. Now we're just going to flip down the pad. And it's time to start putting some screws back in. The top pad here, or the top screws, are two short ones. They're all the same size, but as far as the bit itself, it's the same size, but they're different lengths, obviously. So we're going to put the two short ones up top. I can see how they say how this isn't waterproof for sure, because this pad just sits on top. It's not like there's any gasket or anything around there to seal it. You know, like right here you got a seam that stuff can easily get into that connector area. So I can see why it's not a great idea to ride this through excessive water. Alright, so I got those on. I'm going to flip it upside down. Should be yeah, there's two more holes here. Should be two longer screws. I wish I would have been a little bit more careful here, but actually I'm looking in the parts kit that was given to me, and they give you a whole new set of screws as well, so should not be a problem. I'm just going to use the ones that they gave me, longer ones for the bottom. They go in through the bumper. I hate when tools jump out of my hands. Tightening those up well. You don't want to stand on it tight. Tighten them up good. Okay, we're going to flip it back over. We're going to put my fender on, and I don't think you need instructions on how to install the fender. Just put the 4 screws back in, and I guess the big thing is we got to test it outside, right? All right. Here's my 4th and final screw in place. So at that point, let's take it outside and see what happens. Alright, so I got the app up. Let's first turn it on and see what it does. Okay, just turn it on. Delirium mode activated. I did not get any I need my personal space errors, so that's good. John asked me to send diagnostics as well, so I just did that. Alright, so what I'm going to try to do is kind of simulate the scenarios where the board would run away from me, which is primarily when I would do a jump off. So let's see what happens. Let's see if I remember how to ride this thing. I've been doing the Meepo thing, you know. conventional heel up. And I was on, I'm on the incline, which makes it possibly more problematic, but that worked fine as well. Works fine. I can tell you with the prior setup that it I would get at least some runoff for sure doing it a half dozen times, and that, as you can see, it's turning off like that instantly, which is the way that I understand it's supposed to work. So yeah, that's good. All right, so there you go. There's some interesting outcomes. New pad fixed the problem. At least it sure seems that way. It's shutting off better than it did from day one on the one wheel XR. So I'll be sure to send that piece of video to John from Future Motion as well if they give me a hard time about replacing the pad. I'm very, very happy that I ordered a new pad because it meant I was only down with the one wheel for about a week instead of who knows how long it'll be until I get this worked out with Future Motion. So worth 150 bucks to me. The Meepo, took that out last night for an extended ride around 2 school parking lots. It's great, man. I love that thing. It's cool. I mean, it's funny getting back on the one wheel. It felt weird to have so much control with the one wheel because you can do very tight turns in the one wheel, whereas with an electric skateboard, those turns are not so tight. But I'm getting the hang of being able to turn a little bit better. I still haven't adjusted the trucks at all to give me a little bit more lean yet, but I'm getting more and more comfortable on it, and it's fun to ride around on. You gotta have the right surface, obviously, but luckily around where I live, I have lots of smooth paved paths and parking lots and areas like that, so it should be great. I think like doing a tandem ride where you got one person on a Meepo and the other person on a one wheel, that could be a lot of fun. So yeah, it's all good. One other thing that I keep forgetting to mention is many of you, if you're big into EUCs, you're aware of the live stream that Marty and I have been doing every other week regarding electric unicycles. And I actually have turned that into a podcast. You'll see our first 4 episodes. If you look in the description below, you'll see an RSS feed. And if you're not familiar with what an RSS feed is, that's what it gets fed to your podcast player. You can add it manually to your podcast app in iTunes, and I'm sure you can do the same thing in Android. All you need is that URL. You just feed it that URL and you'll see all of the episodes that I've converted. They're just converted to MP3s, and I've listened to a few of the episodes back, and they actually work pretty well as an audio-only experience as well. So yeah, be sure to check that out. I keep forgetting to mention that, so yeah, I mentioned it. I think that's it. Tomorrow I'm actually off. Work in the middle of the week, so I'm hoping to get out on one wheel, Meepo, maybe something else. 18L will be out of commission, obviously, until I get it back, but I still have 4 other electric unicycles that I can fill that need with, so I'm in good shape. That's all I got for you for now. If this is your first time on the channel, no, all my videos are not so disjointed and all over the place like this one is. But maybe if you like disjointed stuff, if you're like ADD or OCD, maybe you like that, so maybe you should give this video a big thumbs up. If this is your first time in the channel, please consider subscribing. And feel free to leave your comments, suggestions, and ideas below. Covered a lot of 3 different topics here: 18L, Meepo, and the one wheel. So yeah, that's all I got. Until next time, definitely now. So glad this thing worked, man. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Now to clean up this mess. Shit, if someone said to me, here, you can have one. You can either get, you can have an 18L for free or a 9x1 Z10 for free. You can only have one. Take your pick. I take an 18 mil.